Hello, good afternoon. This is Lindsay. It is September 4th, Thursday, 25. And, I wanted to talk more about this gang stalking and harassment and reasons why people can be targeted. I know that people are probably not going to believe anything that I'm saying. Well, I repeat myself a lot. I apologize. But whenever a person has been through so many weird things and traumatic little things, scenarios that are not just daily occurrences, clearly there's more of a reason behind it. You really start to think a lot. You spend a lot of time thinking and pondering why and how could this have happened, and who are the main people behind this, and how could they do that? You just are in shock that that people would go to such an extent to damage a person's finances, or your psychological well-being, emotional well-being, whatever. But that's what they try to do when you're targeted. That's the main objective, is to make you look so delusional and crazy and schizoid or schizophrenic and paranoid that you do become that, because you start to think that everybody is out to get you because of what you've experienced, and you feel like, well, if that's already happened to me, then I just automatically assume that everybody's going to be that way. That's the kind of attitude that you start to adapt, and that's the objective, is to get you to feel so useless or helpless that you develop this mentality that everybody's out to get you, and that but that's not true. It's not true that everybody is out to get you. It's not true that everybody hates you. It's not true that you're a bad person. But whenever so many things have happened to a person at once, it's an emotional reaction to the trauma, and inevitably you're gonna come across as being crazy to people, because what happens with the gang stalking, the targeting that typical targeted individuals go through, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you try to explain it to people, because it's such a bizarre supernatural type thing that it is very difficult for people to understand it unless they have the ability to see it for themselves or have experienced something similar. And I do believe it's more like a big spiritual awakening type thing, because I've been awake. People say, oh, you're awake now. You had a rebirth, a spiritual awakening. That's what some people like to describe that kind of thing as. Well, no, I've always been awake and in tune with things. I've always been hypersensitive and very in tune with my my surroundings, but I'm awake more so. Okay, the way that I'm more awake is that I had to come to the realization, or actually I had to come to accept that my own family, people who I don't even like or get along with or don't even really consider them family anymore, were the ones doing this, or the main people behind this in my situation. And it's about collecting money. It's about them. So what happens is that whenever a person has been labeled as mentally ill, you've been through there's just too much fucking sunlight or something that's bothering me about this location of where I'm filming this, but I don't like that glare. Well, whatever. I don't really care. when a person has been mislabeled in the system as mentally ill and delusional and schizophrenic or whatever label they've given you, then people do sort of just assume that that's how to define you, that that's who you are and that's all you are. And that's a societal stigma of mental illness, that people think that that you become, that you are that person. Well, no, I believe that what happens is that people become what label they're given. I think that if you're given a certain diagnosis of something like schizophrenia, PTSD, depression, anxiety, well, you might already have that. You might already have some symptoms and display some of that. But as you have been given that diagnosis and the more things happen to you as life goes on, then you start to become more of what that label has described you as. I think you start to become, because you feel like, well, that gives me an identity. I feel like I have an identity. And then you feel like, because as it is targeted individuals or myself, I feel like sometimes I don't have an identity. I do have an identity, but they steal your identity. They want you to feel like you have no identity and no purpose in life. And so you feel like you're just sort of lost or confused, not lost, but confused. Because you know certain things that are not being told you. You know because you can feel it. You can feel the way people behave around you, certain family members. You know that there's something they don't want you to know. And so the fact that you know that you're being lied to and misled and exploited and taken advantage of by people who are clearly just blatantly lying to your face, well, inevitably that's going to have an effect on you. That's going to have a long-lasting scar that you can't just wash away, that doesn't go away. It stays with you. It might get better over time or it might get worse, but with me, I've noticed that I have had to do a lot of self-mirroring, working on introspecting, mirroring, or talking about it and working on it, to spending quality time by myself, because I'm a reclusive person anyway. But people such as myself tend to be more reclusive and more loner type people, not really social, because you're not very well understood by people, and you're certainly not going to be very appreciated by most people because they don't really take the time to get to know you. They don't want to know you. They just don't care, or they don't want to bother with it. It's just something that people, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like certain people who have caused a ripple, who've been outspoken, or you're a whistleblower or whatever, they just already realize there's no, what can we do? We'd already know what this person has done or what they could be capable of. And so you start to have you almost intimidate intimidate people to an extent on certain levels of of whatever mentality or spiritual level they're on. They might feel intimidated by people who have more experience in certain things. And so you kind of like, I don't hate these people, but I just realize that I can't, there's not much, unless they're willing to learn and take risks. Like I've had to take so many risks to get to what I want to do and to try to do what I want to do. If people don't do that, then they say, oh, this person's never going to advance. That person is going to always stay stagnant. Let them say and think what they want to say. But you know that who you are. You know that you have something in you that drives you. You have that discipline, that's something about you, or something. Like with me, it's discipline, but it's also, it's called resilience. When you keep going back, you keep doing something, and you keep getting better and better at it because you do it every day or almost every day. That's called, and you develop, it's called building resistance and resilience. They knock you down, you get back up. It makes you stronger, right? Or they say, How many times are we going to knock that person down before they just give up and die, or just give up, right? How many times it's like you feel like they just want to keep trying to push you down, and every time they do that, you elevate a little bit more. They push you down, and you elevate, and it's like a consistent thing where it's almost like the more, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make you work really hard. They want to see you fail. They want to see you suffer. They want to see you struggle. They want to see you get hurt physically or emotionally, but even physically. And so the more they pressure you in these subtle ways, which when they gang stalk you, and the more they harass you and mob you, the more pressure builds up in yourself to want to, you feel like, oh, well, I have to prove these people wrong. That's what they try to make you feel, like you constantly have to prove them, like you're in a, like everything's a test. That's what they do. It's like every little fucking thing they monitor you and analyze you like you're some goddamn fucking test. I'm not in the fucking military, and I'm not a goddamn lab rat for these people. But I swear to God, like the way they monitor me, the way they closely scrutinize things that I do, like pertaining to my body or my physical workouts or whatever, that's irritating. That's invasive. And they know that. And they know that that drives a person crazy. And that's why they do it. They just keep fucking provoking you into trying to get you to react in a way that makes you look fucking crazy, when in fact they're the motherfuckers doing it. You see what they do? And I know this is a fact. I know how these people operate. I know how they operate. I watch them just as much as they watch me. And they just observe that, like they think they know everything, like they're trying to analyze and figure something out, and then they come up with some asinine conclusion about you that's completely erroneous. Because they have never even spoken to you, but they just see you from a distance, and they're just watching you, watching how you interact with the staff at the gym, watching how you interact with people, every little thing about you. They want to analyze it and psychoanalyze it so they can come up with some kind of a diagnosis, right? Something else to add to your record, to make them feel better, to justify for what they're doing to you. Because what these people are being paid to do to targeted people is completely an encroachment in illegal. It's an encroachment on a person's constitutional rights. It's an encroachment on your independence. It's an encroachment and invasion of your civil liberties, of your human rights, to feel violated like that by strangers observing you in ways that oftentimes feel perverted, like they're perverts or something, and you're a female, for example. And I'm not saying it's, but they'll make it obvious. Some of these people are they'll kind of let you, it's very uncomfortable what some of them will do to try to get your attention. But anyway, back to like why they'll target people is usually, like I said, it's usually something from your family generation, family lineage, and it's also monetary. It's almost always financially motivated. And so like, let me see, like I found out, I have done some research and I've gotten some help. And I have kind of figured, and I haven't kind of, but I have figured things out, and a lot of it explains why they've treated me this way, and so-called family, why they now, what they've done and why they did it. Well, apparently these people, and I'm saying these people, I'm talking about my mother. Supposedly this woman's my biological mother. Her name is Kenny Griffith Baldwin. She lives in Mexico, supposedly, somewhere, if she's still alive. To be honest with you, I don't know if she's alive right now. I don't even know. I don't know. I suppose she is. But anyway, she's something 80-something, lives in Mexico. We don't get along. We now, especially now I think she's afraid to contact me because I figured so much out and I've exposed all this shit. So she wouldn't, she's too chicken shit to contact me because she knows what she did is horribly wrong to me. Her daughter, supposedly I'm her daughter. Okay? But what she did and what her son, Carter Baldwin, my half-sibling, what they did, and apparently my aunt, who could be my biological mother, Kenny's sister Gwen Griffith, who very well could be my biological mother, or Evelyn Griffith, their mother, could be my biological mother. You see, I don't know exactly, but there's something going on that they have been punishing me about my entire life, okay? And so, therefore, of course, it's easy to put me in the system to get me diagnosed as being mentally ill at a young age. It's easy for them to discredit me starting at a young age because they know that there's money involved. That at some point, there's going to be some money. There's going to be some inheritances. There's going to be some beneficiary, something, right? That has to do with finances or deeds or property or inheritance, money, trust. Yes, of course. And so, of course, as a child, what do I know? I don't know anything about this. No wonder they didn't tell me anything about whenever Lita, my great-grandmother, died on my mother's side. Oh, of course, I went to the funeral and I was close. I knew Lita I knew her and I was at the funeral and all that. But wow, come to find out that there's a trust. That I never heard anything about that. Not a fucking thing, but it's all right there written in paper on the original document. So that's why I'm being punished, mostly because of that document. Okay? Right there, there's a lot of that document is very valuable. And they know that I have it. And so that was supposed to be a secret. Because my mother withheld my money that I was supposed to get from my grandmother. My great-grandmother, the one who I found her fucking diamond ring, engagement ring in a big fern plant in Garland, Texas, Garland, Texas, or Sulphur Springs, was it Sulphur Springs? No, I think it was Garland, wherever she had a house, somewhere outside Dallas. And I met her a few times, and I found that ring when I was a child, and she was very happy. She couldn't have been more happy. And so for whatever reason, she liked me. I don't know. I had an effect on her. That great-grandmother, Lita Bess, seemed to like me, which made Kenny and Gwen pissed off. I don't know why that is, but then come to find out she dies in, 1985, 86, 87, whatever. In the will, there's a trust for her great-grandchildren, of which I'm one. Adopted or not, I'm still a great-grandchild. And it says it all right there in the will. So, of course, I didn't know anything about that. At age 14 or 13, whatever, I was only in middle school. I believe I was at Pershing Middle School or St. Francis at the time that happened. But I remember things started getting a little bit strange in my life. I could see that things were starting to get odd, and then my mother started to treat me even more bizarre, strange, more different. Okay, so I don't know, but they make sure that they start to try to discredit you at a young age if they know that there's going to be some kind of money or some kind of fights, some kind of battles for inheritances or whatever. They will start out when either of these fucking don't pardon my French, but these Freemasonic families will start to configure things and analyze things and try to predict what's going to happen. And they use I'm a trained psychotherapist and I have all these connections in Houston to various psychiatrists and lawyers and so much influence. So I'm going to be able to, with her connections, so because of the fact that I have that document, because of the fact that pisses her off more than fucking anything you can fucking imagine, her and Gwen, because they battled so much over that, whenever Lita died, Edie, her name was Edie. I mean, that was her nickname, was Edie. Lita Best, but Edie. Oh, wow, the way those two squabbled, and for them to think that I have a hold of it, can you imagine how pissed off that makes Gwen and Kenny? The two sisters that... oh, no wonder. No wonder they did that intervention, that fake fucking intervention at Canton Street when I had done absolutely nothing fucking wrong. Except I guess that's when she finally fucking hit her, that I had, maybe she was like, oh my God, she's got that will. So all of a sudden I get a fucking knock, all they do this fucking crazy intervention and try to get me locked up in a mental hospital, of which I got out of because I didn't need to fucking be there. Because of that will. And also because they knew that there was other money from Alan. My father, Alan Baldwin. I believe that my name is on some kind of an insurance policy that they stole. And not only that, but apparently and when I say they, I say Kenny, and I say Gwen, and I say Carter, her son, my half-sibling. Because apparently it takes mostly these people work in threes. There could be more involved, but from what I've been told, and from what I believe, that they have conspired against me. They faked my death. Apparently I'm dead. Apparently I'm buried in Mexico. Apparently there's a grave for me in Mexico that Kenny and Gwen paid somebody named Maria, a witch, in Mexico. Get this, they talk about people who practice that shit. There's Kenny and Gwen for you. Not me, those people. So apparently they paid a Mexican named Maria in Guadalajara, Mexico, to put a plot in a graveyard called Virgen something Antigua Virgen de something in Guadalajara. There was a grave of myself with photos of me in a plot that they put, so that they faked my death to collect money off of me, to collect life insurance money. Because remember I said that this woman put a life insurance policy out on me. So they expected me to be dead. Okay? When I broke my hip, and this is a fact, and I have the facts, when I broke my hip in 2013, she was so fucking mean to me, for the most part, really mean to me. And then all of a sudden she's like, okay, fine, I'll go to your apartment. She ended up calling the ambulance for me. I got rushed to, Methodist Hospital in Houston, downtown, and they had to get emergency surgery on my right hip because the circulation was getting cut off. It had already been a couple days, and I was losing circulation. I was gonna die. It was real bad. It wasn't just a little stress fracture. It was a fucking complete broken hip, of which I have a goddamn metal rod in my fucking hip that fucks up everything. Pardon my goddamn language. So I broke the hip. How funny. Then I'm hunchback crippled. Eligible for Social Security disability, I would have thought. So I break my hip, I get the surgery, and then because I cannot go up and down the fucking steps at Elman Street in where I lived over there in Montrose on Elman Street, in my little efficiency that I had been in for like 5-6 years, or before that I lived on Driscoll Street in the same area. I like that part of town. If I could go anywhere, if I ever got the fuck out of this place, I'd go back to the Montrose area. The West Gray, Montrose, Heights, maybe Galveston area. Probably, that's where I would go. Or Seaport, Kima, whatever the fuck you call it, and go play at the fucking beach. Even though I don't like to sail. That's where I belong. I don't belong here. I don't want to be here. I belong by the beach. I don't like to swim, really, but I love being by the water. It's just my calling. And I think I take after my dad. Well, my supposed dad, that is to say Ben Baldwin, the one who supposedly, well, he died from alcoholism in 2003. My father Ben, the drunk. Is he my father though? Oh, I don't know, Kenny. Well, anyway, he liked the water and he liked to sail boats and all that. I like the water. I don't like to be in a boat, but I like being by the water. Yeah. So, if anybody knows about a condominium that I can, or a little house that I could buy or rent, if they could help me get the title to this house that I'm in now and get the fuck out, sell it, so I can get the fuck out of here and go back to that area, please let me know. Please be so kind as to let me know, because honestly, I think it's no, ain't nothing here for me no more. Time to get out and go back to where I'm from, back to my roots. I'm not supposed to be here anymore. That much I know. I mean, I'm taking it one day at a time right now, but honestly, I want more than anything to get out of here. Go to Florida, go somewhere else. But of course, it's all about the money that they stole, my inheritance. So I'm kind of like, there's money, but they don't want me to have it because they want to figure out, well, they need to make sure that I have a plan. My fucking plan is my goddamn business. Just give me my fucking money and I'll figure it out. You know, that's what they want to make sure that it's not just, I remember like when Bob, her husband, whatever, was like, what's your plan? He would control my fucking money. Well, you need to have a plan. I don't fucking need to do anything. It's my fucking money. You know, what the fuck is that? And then they forced me to go that goddamn fucking criminal justice shit. You know, what the fuck? It's my life. What's your plan, hon? Huh? My plan is to fucking live my life and live my life the way I fucking want to. What's your fucking plan? Go snort coke and fucking prostitutes in fucking Jerry Epsteinville? Pedophileville? I don't know. What's your fucking plan? Perverts. I'm just saying, none of their fucking business what I do. I'm not doing that kind of shit. I don't snort fucking cocaine. I don't go to parties. I don't even fucking go out. I have the right to go live by the fucking beach somewhere, Corpus Christi, whatever, to live out the rest of my fucking life. Get the fuck out of here for once. It's too goddamn big. I'm fucking sick living. I want to go to a smaller city by the beach. That's all I want. To get the fuck out of here permanently. Give me the title to this fucking house in my fucking name so I can sell it and get out, Kenny. Can you do that much for me at least? Since you stole my fucking identity and apparently killed me and collected my fucking life insurance money, that you put a fucking life insurance policy out on me in 2013 when I broke my hip by somebody named Ferris Mona. Yeah, Kenny, how much money did you collect off of me? Supposedly I'm dead. Supposedly I died in Mexico. Well, did I get to go to the funeral? I guess nobody was there because I don't have any friends anyway. I'm just a fucking witch. So who would have gone to Lindsay's funeral? She's a fucking nobody. She hasn't accomplished anything. Look at her hair. Look at her. She's just... Thank you, because all it's done is made me feel better about myself and stronger than you'll ever be. People like you, because all you do is fucking judge the exterior. That's all they've ever done. Pick on me about every fucking thing. You know what? At least I don't go out and get a bunch of fucking goddamn plastic surgery and big fucking fish lips and shit like that and liposuction. Okay, if you women want to do that, do it. But you know, to each his own. Don't fucking tell me what to fucking do, what to do with my body, what I can make my own goddamn decisions. And some of you people have no fucking room to be judging. I go spend a bunch of fucking money on goddamn Botox every fucking week and the fucking fish lip shit and all that shit that some of you women do. Yeah, let's admit it, a lot of you women wear wigs. Too big fucking deal. Don't shame me because I don't wear a fucking... You know, I'm so sick of it. All they want to do is just impress. Everything out there is just a big fuck fest. Let's just be as fake as we can to try to impress somebody so I can get a rich man and fornicate and get some money and be a fucking whore And fornicate, that's all people think about. They just want to fornicate. That's all it is. That's why I'm done with all that shit. God is my answer to everything. I don't need that crap in my life. Bunch of loser, sick motherfuckers that stick their dick in every fucking hole and thing they can find. And you women are so, I just want your money. That's all they want, men. You know that's all they want from you. Most of them. Unless, come on. If they've already got kids and they have a fucking Insta-whore fucking website shit of porno, then all they want is your fucking money. And if you're giving women money like that, you're a fucking idiot. You're stupid. In my opinion, you're a fucking fool. But then again, since the sex is so good, you dumb fucking perverts or porno addicts anyway, you men are fucking horrible. I'm sorry, but they're a waste of fucking time. I'm not into women, and I'm heterosexual, but most men are fucking losers. Piece of shit, ill, disrespectful assholes that I've just fucking lost interest in everything, especially those kinds of men. I don't even give them the fucking time of day. Nope, not after what I've been through. Never again. So yeah, so I'm dead. I died in Mexico, or there's a grave for me in Mexico that maybe now it's going to be destroyed and dug up and burned so that I'm back to life, everybody! I'm back to life! Somebody found it, and now it's been destroyed. So Lindsay's come back to life! So Kenny, that means that you and Gwen and Carter need to give back the money that you stole from me. Isn't that, or if not, I'm going to call the fucking police. I'm going to call, here's what I'm going to do. If you don't give me my fucking money from that fake death that you hired the witch Maria to kill me or put that grave in Mexico, how fucking evil. Now, some people are evil, but I didn't think they'd go to that goddamn Guess what? Here's what's going to happen now. I'm going to file a police report. I'm going to report it to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. I'm going to contact my bank and financial institutions and let them know that my death was faked by Kenny, Carter, and Gwen, or most likely Kenny and Carter. I don't know how much Gwen is involved, but whatever. Supposedly they all are the ones involved. I'm going to place a fraud alert and credit freeze. I'm going to secure my vital documents, including my fake fucking birth certificate. And I'm going to consult a probate attorney. And I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue for damages. I'm going to sue a civil lawsuit against Kenny and Carter for all the fucking abuse, starting with Alan's probate shit. I'm going to sue and get my money. I'm going to sue you for all the fucking damages. Sue. Sue. Do you hear that, Kenny? Guess who's coming back guess who's going to prison? Guess who may be going to jail? Guess who might be spending some time in the fucking federal prison? Carter? Kenny? Are you excited? Pack up! You're going to fucking prison. You faked my fucking death and collected my fucking money and life insurance. And you stole my inheritance from my dead father, Alan Baldwin. Somebody's gonna be going to the Fed prison, and it ain't me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. This is for entertainment purposes only, but not really. This is all true. It's actually true. Unfortunately, they hate me that much that they had to fake my death. I don't know whether to laugh or to cry or what to think. It's actually, it's a feeling of euphoria. It's like almost feeling like I'm high because I came back to life. Imagine not only having some near-death experiences and dying and coming back to life. Imagine being traumatized. Imagine betrayal trauma and surviving. And then imagine finding out that your family faked your death and buried you in a cemetery and you're still alive. Isn't that a lot to take in for one person at once? Or no, that's nothing. That's nothing. Wow. Amazing. Here I am talking and speaking and breathing and living my life. How is that so? I guess the spirit world is real, and if these walls could talk. It's okay because I talk to the walls. They hear everything, they absorb everything like a sponge. So nice try. Nice try. Didn't work. Nice try though. Nice try, Kenny. Carter. Your little fucking are you gonna go to acting school now, Kenny? Carter? Mr. I live in Malibu, California.